Hey guys, it's Caleb and Henna. This is our beautiful dog, and she was actually one of my parents' dogs, but she's come to live with us just recently. So she's living out here now, enjoying her older days. She's 10 years old now. So yeah, she's just been chilling out, lying around on the deck and being a bit lazy. Hey girl. I tried to take her for a walk just before around the garden and she just retreated back to the deck out of the wind because it's a little bit cold. But yeah, it's winter here at the moment and I wanted to give you guys an update and show you sort of what's happening around the property. We've been working on sort of quite a few different projects, so yeah, I just thought I'd give you a general update. Oh, Snowy's come to say hello. Yeah, just give you a general update on basically what's going on. So let's get into it. We'll go for a walk, eh Gil? What do you reckon? So back in the summer in this area, there was big dips and hollows all through it. So I went through and just basically added a whole lot of topsoil. And I knew at the time we didn't really have time to be placing all the wood chips down because eventually we do want all of this area to have wood chips and mulch on it. But yeah, rather than just letting all that dirt turn back into just weeds, we decided to just quickly sprinkle around some lupin seeds, which are basically a green manure crop. So these will basically create quite a lot of good nutritious growth, which is nitrogen fixing. So that's just going to really improve the ground. And then when we do come through to put wood chips down, we can just sort of cut all this back, cut it down, let it kind of just rot into the ground and help to sort of start to build the soil. So recently we just went and ordered about 20 cubes of arborist mulch and we've started to use this and place it all around our fruit trees. We thought rather than just sort of starting and working our way and covering this entire area, we would prioritize just around all the fruit trees because we've got them spread out over quite a large area. And the reason we wanted to do it around this time of year is because underneath we've placed cardboard around just to suppress the weeds, and then we've just placed this mulch directly on top with quite a thick layer. And it is good to do that in the winter because it allows that cardboard to stay quite wet, which will enable it to actually break down. If you do that in the summertime, quite often you'll get that drying effect on the cardboard. It will act as a wick and actually kind of keep water from going into the ground a bit more. Whereas if you do it this time of year, it has a chance to break down. Therefore, in the summertime when you are watering your plants, it can actually get through that cardboard easily and down into the ground. Now I know I did say we were just prioritizing around each fruit tree, but we have started this big area over here as well. This is basically us just starting in one edge of the food forest and working our way down through it. I've kind of stopped this project just for now because I wanted to do all of the fruit trees first, but this is just an area when I had some really large sheets of cardboard that I put down and have started to lay this mulch on. You can see the cardboard that I have left exposed around the edges, and that's basically so I can easily overlap it when I continue this area. And where I've been getting my cardboard from is actually our local appliance shop. They have really big ones for washing machines and fridges, and they're totally fine with you taking away those cardboard boxes, which makes it easy to kind of cover a large area quite quickly. So this over here is a bit of a funny shape, but this is a almond tree that I grew from seed. And I actually made a video on that when I started them. So this is a couple of years old now, and I'm very excited to say that it has just started to flower. It's actually covered in flowers. This is the first time it's happened. And I planted this back a couple of months ago, finally in the ground. So usually it would have been a lot bigger than this by now, but because it was in a pot for a while, it took a little bit longer. And there's not many bees around at the moment because it's winter, so I thought I would hand pollinate it. So I've got a little paintbrush here, and I just thought I'd just go around and kind of spread that pollen around a little bit, you know, like a bee normally would. And hopefully we'll get something out of it. I'm just interested to see if it will set fruit because the tree's still quite small. But doing this, you can see that it is picking up a lot of pollen on the paintbrush there. So I'll probably do this in a couple of days time as well because there's lots of flowers that haven't even come out yet. But yeah, this might just help to get it to set some fruit. Guess we'll see. So coming over to the chicken pen, we've got this brown turkey fig tree that we planted in memory of Sylvia. You guys may have seen that in last week's video. And then over here we've got the chicken pen, which we've added on this sort of area around the outside. We've just used steel waratahs and some chicken mesh, and we've added this bamboo along the top just to make it slightly higher. And we've got a fruit tree planted in there that was in there already, and some other perching, another little tree down there. And as you can see, the chickens are out at the moment. We do let them free range quite a lot of the time, but we've just added this little run in here so that we can lock them in there if we need to. At the moment we've got a garden that they were digging all the plants out of, so we sort of wanted to keep them in there while those roots are getting down. But generally when we're here, we just let them out and they kick around and eat all the weeds. Hey chickens. This is a big patch of lucerne trees that we planted just last winter, and they were only about this tall when we planted them, and now they're probably 8 or 9 feet tall. So these grow incredibly fast where we live. They are nitrogen fixing plants. You can chop and drop them to help build the soil. They're super drought tolerant. I really love these trees, and at the moment you can see they're just absolutely loaded with these white flowers, which the bees love. Birds like them as well, like native wood pigeons. Do check them out. Not these ones yet. We sort of don't have much native wildlife out here at the moment, but hopefully as our area sort of becomes more of a forest, this does help to attract them in. But yeah, amazing plants. We've actually planted a whole heap more around, which I'll show you shortly. But just unbelievable that these were only planted a year ago and were only about a foot tall. So these are some of the new lucerne trees we've just planted around the place, and we've planted some of them in these sort of circle formations. The reason for that is so that eventually we will put a tree here, maybe like an avocado or something, that requires a bit of shade as it grows and a bit of wind protection and things like that. And I think that will actually help to kind of give it a bit of a natural barrier, and also it makes it really accessible to chop and drop it straight onto the tree. So the veggie garden area is expanded into 3 beds now, and this one's the newest one, and we've planted a whole bunch of bare rooted strawberries all through this, so I'm excited for that. And I've actually just noticed already there's a few flowers on it, which is completely the wrong time of year, but anyway. This bed over here we've planted some onions, like red onions, some garlic, and a whole bunch of different brassicas all through there. And then the original one, the one over the back there, that was one I started in lockdown back in April, and that one's doing really well. All of the stuff in here I grew from seed, and most of it was actually just sown directly into the top layer of compost when I started this bed. So it is planted fairly densely, but everything seems to be working quite well that way because the plants can kind of help each other with the wind and hold each other up. In here I've got radishes, beetroot, parsnip, carrots, kale, some other brassicas, lettuce, and also this mesclun mix, which I've let go to seed and it's covered in flowers at the moment. And I've actually just gone out today and picked up a whole bunch more sleepers, so I'm excited to get a few more beds in and start growing some more stuff. These are some of the new additions to the food forest that we're going to be planting soon. This is a tangelo tree. We've got a white currant here, gooseberry packs. That one's a red gooseberry variety. This one's an elderberry. And we've got a pink shatoot mulberry that's already shooting new leaves out of it. We've got a macadamia nut tree here and a black grape variety over there. So a few good things to go in, and I'll show you some of the stuff we've just planted. This over here is a prune tree that we've just put in. Very excited for that, even though it's just a stick. You guys have seen the feed jar that's there. This is a nectarine that we put in last year. This here is a new pear variety that we've just put in, and I'll probably stake some of these outer branches out like that and just sort of pin them to the ground just to give them a bit more space. But he's got a nice big mulch bed around him. Little apricot grown from seed, which I might have a go at grafting. Forgot about this as well. This is a Worcester berry. Apparently it's a gooseberry cross black currant, so going to be planting that soon, but he's been left out here. I'm going to plant him next to the loquat tree. Okay, this tree over here, I've put some frost cloth over it. I don't think it really needs it, but I just wanted to make sure it was going to be fine. This is there's peas growing around it. This is a blue sausage tree, or an old man fingers tree. It's just a stick at the moment because they're deciduous, and he probably doesn't need this frost cloth, but I'm going to try it out. And anyways, excited for this. It's going to be a bit more of a novel type of fruit. Hopefully I can share more about that with you guys in the future. This over here is a yellow cherry guava. I did have this completely covered in frost cloth because it had some really fresh growth when I first planted it, which I knew the frost would probably damage. So it's looking okay considering it's winter, and yeah, it should be fine in the springtime and come away again. I'm doing a bit of an experiment with some ice cream beans. I've got the rest of mine in pots at the moment with some protection on the deck, but in here is one that I planted and I've had it covered, but look at it. It is not looking very happy at all. There is still a tiny bit of green. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, he does not like the cold. They can tolerate down to about 0 degrees Celsius, but obviously it's got a bit colder than that here. So I don't know, we'll see. Will it come back? I'm not too sure. We've got some sheep wool around the base. That was just put there as some mulch when I didn't have any. Hopefully that will keep the roots a bit warmer. We will see what happens with that guy. So I've showed you guys these before. These are just some little barriers we put up to stop the sheep eating these trees. But like I said, this area no longer is going to have sheep in it. So what we've decided to do is still use these for something. So at the base of this tree here, which is a quince tree, I've planted some thornless jewels, which is a hybrid boysenberry. Got one there. As you can see, there's no leaves at the moment, but I got these from my mum's plants. She's got a whole heap of little suckers coming up everywhere. And I've got some more just here as well that I'm going to be planting further around this little fence here. So it'll be quite cool to have, you know, the fruit tree in the middle with some berries growing up all around the outsides of this little structure. And I'm quite keen to do that for some of the others. I've got some black currants as well and some other things that I want to sort of replicate the same thing around each tree. It also just means when I water this tree in the summertime, I can easily water these berries that are all around the outside. They can all sort of just get watered all together. So I've also just recently built this little garden next to the house here, and we've planted just some little native hebes and grasses, just some different kinds of flowering things that basically will bring in some insects, and they should hopefully just look nice most of the year. And yeah, they do just flower as well quite a bit, so we've got a bit more to add through this part here. It hasn't been completed yet. And then I built this little wall on the deck, which I'll probably train a passion fruit or some sort of a climber up it. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do there yet, but yeah, it's a good little spot to grow something. Henna's decided it was too cold and windy to join us during the video, but I've coaxed her back out here with some little bickies. Hey girl. Anyway guys, I think I'll leave it there for today's video, but I hope you enjoyed it and got some sort of inspiration out of it. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions for me, leave them down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up so I know, and I'll look at doing some more of these videos in the future. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Me and Henna are going to get out of this wind, but we'll catch you in the next video. Alright, bye guys.